Breakfast
with Phil Upton.
Sigrid on the way. Bronski beat as well. All before Vic Minette at 10 o'clock this morning. Very sunny weekend, very warm as well. Obviously, might have plans to be outside, bit of a barbecue. In some cases, I know the forecast includes some thundery rain. So if you do need to take cover at any point indoors, some movie recommendations you could be watching instead. As ever, on a Thursday morning, we're joined by Stratford-upon-Avon movie critic Victoria Luxford. Hi, Victoria.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming on this morning. Are things warming up in Stratford?
Absolutely, it's definitely heating up, and this is always the time of year when I remind everyone that cinemas have excellent air conditioning
and a range of great drinks as well. Good stuff, and ice cream. Good stuff. So yes, Victoria, with advice for you on something maybe you can watch together as a family, something to watch at home. But as ever, going to start, Victoria, with your recommendation of what's on in the cinema this weekend.
Yes, my best of cinema this week is Chevalier. It's in cinemas Friday, and it's a period drama about the life of a composer who overcame prejudice to become one of Marie Antoinette's favourite composers.
I realized the more I excelled, the less I was alone.
Were you always so competitive?
The show-off who spoiled Mozart's concert.
May I play with you, monsieur?
Well, I hope this won't be embarrassing for you.
And I'm kind of guessing, Victoria, that this sort of if you like your Bridgertons and your Downton Abbeys, this is the sort of thing that sort of captures all of the great costume and, backdrops of the time, does it?
Absolutely. It is a very sort of stylized period drama that brings a hidden part of history to life. This is a composer who was considered, as you heard in the trailer, on the level of Mozart, but because of his background, because of his ethnicity, was written out of the history books and only recently rediscovered in recent decades. So this is a fascinating part of history that you didn't know existed, which I think everyone loves a biopic of a famous face. I think sometimes a biopic of a person that you never knew was so important to history is equally as exciting. Something like Hamilton, where maybe not as famous as other figures in history, but becomes so because of a really well told story, and that's exactly what happens here. I really enjoyed it.
And just as an aside, I noticed that the stage production of Hamilton on Broadway, they've actually had to stop the showings because of all of the different air quality stories we've been reading about New York this morning, the wildfires in Canada, the bad air quality that's come in, the haze that's coming over Manhattan. As a result, they pulled some of those Broadway shows, Hamilton being one of them. Right, so Chevalier, it's in cinemas across Coventry and Warwickshire as from tomorrow. That's Victoria's best of cinema recommendation. Something we can all be watching at home, Victoria?
My best of home this week is Pride on iPlayer now. It's a comedy drama, and it's the true story of a struggling mining town in the 80s that finds unlikely allies in an LGBT liberation group.
These villagers are finished.
Mining communities are being bullied just like we are. What they need is cash.
Yeah, because the miners have always come to our aid, haven't
they? It doesn't matter. It's the right thing to do.
So we are going to pick a mining town completely at random.
Wales.
Die! Your gays have arrived!
Everybody.
I love it. And again, for those of us who lived through the 80s and the miners' strike and all the conflict that came with that, you wouldn't think of sort of putting this in the backdrop of an LGBTQ setting, would you, normally, Victoria?
No, not at all. But it's another little part of history that isn't as well known, but genuinely happened and makes for a really good film. I think a very funny comedy and very well acted. People like Bill Nighy and Andrew Scott Imelda Staunton, a great cast of British actors, and a story that sort of talks about the power of solidarity. You know, wherever you come from, whoever you are, whoever you love, coming together and fighting for what's right. And I think it's a really well done film. It's one that is always re-released in cinemas around this time of year, Pride Month in June. And I think well worth checking out if you see it on iPlayer. Very moving, but also very funny and very informative.
Pride is, as Victoria says, on the BBC iPlayer right now. Brings us to your family classic, something we can all watch as a family for the weekend.
My family classic this week is Encanto on Disney Plus now. It's an animated film about Mirabel, a young woman who must discover her gift to save her home.
I'm not super strong like Luisa.
The donkey's got out again.
On it! Or effortlessly perfect like Señorita Perfecta Isabella. But Mama, why am I the only one that didn't get a gift?
You're just as special as anyone else in this family.
You just healed my hand with an arepa con queso.
Great soundtrack, and as ever, with a lot of these Disney movies now, Victoria, a great message as well.
Yes, an incredible sort of marriage of animation and comedy and music, and a really good message as well. Yes, as you say, about finding your gift, finding something that makes you special, that you can bring to the world. Talking about Hamilton, the composer of that musical, Lin-Manuel Miranda, he's in. He composes the songs for this, and I know that it had a chart hit with the song "We Don't Talk About Bruno," which was a big hit around a couple of years ago. And this is a terrific animated movie, very gentle, very earnest, and I think something that the whole family is going to enjoy, is going to have fun with, and probably be singing along to for about a week after.
There are also some open air viewings of Encanto this weekend. Hatton Country World is doing an Encanto open air showing alongside Mamma Mia and Dirty Dancing, and similarly, I know Kumar Biankov's got an Encanto open air evening towards the back end of August if you want to see it that way. But otherwise, from the comfort of your home, Disney Plus on now and over the weekend. Victoria, stay cool. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Victoria Luxford, our movie critic in Stratford-upon-Avon this morning. Minworth.